Now, when men started to grow in number on the surface of the ground, and daughters were born to them, the sons of the true God began to notice that the daughters of men were beautiful. So they began taking as wives all whom they chose. Then Jehovah said, "My spirit will not tolerate man indefinitely, because he is only flesh. Accordingly, his days will amount to 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days and afterward. During that time, the sons of the true God continued to have relations with the daughters of men, and these bore sons to them. They were the mighty ones of old times, the men of fame. Consequently, Jehovah saw that man's wickedness was great on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of his heart was only bad all the time. Jehovah regretted that he had made men on the earth, and his heart was saddened. So Jehovah said, I am going to wipe men whom I have created off the surface of the ground, man together with domestic animals, creeping animals and flying creatures of the heavens, for I regret that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of Jehovah. This is the history of Noah. Noah was a righteous man. He proved himself faultless among his contemporaries. Noah walked with the true God. In time, Noah became father to 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. But the earth had become ruined in the sight of the true God, and the earth was filled with violence. Yes, God looked upon the earth, and it was ruined. All flesh had ruined its way on the earth. After that, God said to Noah, I have decided to put an end to all flesh, because the earth is full of violence on account of them. So I am bringing them to ruin together with the earth. Make for yourself an ark from resinous wood. You will make compartments in the ark and cover it with tar inside and outside. This is how you will make it. The ark should be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. You will make a window for light for the ark, 1 cubit from the top. You should put the entrance of the ark in its side and make it with a lower deck, a second deck, and a third deck. As for me, I am going to bring flood waters upon the earth to destroy from under the heavens all flesh that has the breath of life. Everything on the earth will perish, and I am establishing my covenant with you, and you must go into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you, and bring into the ark 2 of every sort of living creature in order to preserve them alive with you, a male and a female. Of the flying creatures according to their kinds, the domestic animals according to their kinds, and all creeping animals of the ground according to their kinds, 2 of each will go in there to you to preserve them alive. For your part, you are to collect and take with you every kind of food to eat, to serve as food for you and for the animals. And Noah did according to all that God had commanded him. He did just so. After that, Jehovah said to Noah, Go into the ark, you and all your household, because you are the one I have found to be righteous before me among this generation. You must take with you every kind of clean animal by 7s, the male and its mate, and of every animal that is not clean just 2, the male and its mate. Also of the flying creatures of the sky by 7s, male and female, to preserve their offspring alive over all the earth. For in just 7 days I will make it rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will wipe from the surface of the ground every living thing that I have made. Then Noah did everything that Jehovah had commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the floodwaters came upon the earth. So Noah, along with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives, went into the ark ahead of the floodwaters. Of every clean animal and of every animal that is not clean, and of the flying creatures, and of everything that moves on the ground, they went inside the ark to Noah by 2s, male and female, just as God had commanded Noah. And 7 days later the floodwaters came upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, on that day all the springs of the vast watery deep burst open, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened. And the rain poured down on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. On that very day, Noah went into the ark along with his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and his wife and the 3 wives of his sons. They went in with every wild animal according to its kind, and every domestic animal according to its kind, and every creeping animal of the earth according to its kind, and every flying creature according to its kind, every bird, every winged creature. They kept going to Noah inside the ark, two by two, of every sort of flesh that has the breath of life. So they went in, male and female of every sort of flesh, just as God had commanded him. After that, Jehovah shut the door behind him. The flooding continued for 40 days on the earth, and the waters kept increasing and began carrying the ark, and it was floating high above the earth. The waters became overwhelming and kept increasing greatly upon the earth, but the ark floated on the surface of the waters. The waters overwhelmed the earth so greatly that all the tall mountains under the whole heavens were covered. The waters rose up to 15 cubits above the mountains. So all living creatures that were moving on the earth perished. The flying creatures, the domestic animals, the wild animals, the swarming creatures, and all mankind. Everything on dry land that had the breath of life in its nostrils died. So he wiped every living thing from the surface of the earth, including man, animals, creeping animals, and the flying creatures of the sky. They were all wiped off the earth. Only Noah and those with him in the ark survived. And the waters continued overwhelming the earth for 150 days. But God gave attention to Noah and to all the wild animals and domestic animals that were with him in the ark. And God caused a wind to blow over the earth, and the waters began to subside. The springs of the watery deep and the floodgates of the heavens were stopped up, so the rain from the heavens stopped falling. Then the waters began to recede progressively from the earth. By the end of 150 days, the waters had subsided. In the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat, and the waters were steadily decreasing until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st of the month, the tops of the mountains appeared. So at the end of 40 days, Noah opened the window that he had made in the ark and sent out a raven. It continued flying outside and returning until the waters dried off the earth. Later he sent out a dove to see whether the waters had receded from the surface of the ground. The dove did not find any resting place to perch, so it returned to him into the ark because the waters were still covering the surface of the whole earth. So he reached his hand out and brought it inside the ark. He waited 7 more days, and once again he sent out the dove from the ark. When the dove came to him toward evening, he saw that there was a freshly plucked olive leaf in its bill. So Noah knew that the waters had receded from the earth. He waited still another 7 days. Then he sent out the dove, but it did not return to him anymore. Now in the 601st year, in the 1st month, on the 1st day of the month, the waters had drained from the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark and saw that the surface of the ground was drying. In the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth had dried off. God now said to Noah, "Go out of the ark, you, your wife, your sons, and your sons' wives. Bring out with you all the living creatures of every sort of flesh, of the flying creatures, and of the animals, and of all the creeping animals of the earth, that they may multiply on the earth and be fruitful and become many on the earth." So Noah went out, together with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives. Every living creature, every creeping animal, and every flying creature, everything that moves on the earth, went out of the ark by families. Then Noah built an altar to Jehovah and took some of all the clean animals and of all the clean flying creatures and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And Jehovah began to smell a pleasing aroma. So Jehovah said in his heart, "Never again will I curse the ground on man's account, for the inclination of the heart of man is bad from his youth up, and never again will I strike down every living thing as I have done. From now on, the earth will never cease to have seed sowing and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night." God went on to bless Noah and his sons and to say to them, "Be fruitful and become many and fill the earth. A fear of you and a terror of you will continue upon every living creature of the earth and upon every flying creature of the heavens, upon everything that moves on the ground and upon all the fish of the sea. They are now given into your hand. Every moving animal that is alive may serve as food for you. Just as I gave you the green vegetation, I give them all to you. Only flesh with its life, its blood, you must not eat. Besides that, I will demand an accounting for your lifeblood. I will demand it from every living creature, and I will demand an accounting for the life of man from his fellow man. Anyone shedding man's blood, by man will his own blood be shed, for in God's image he made man. As for you, be fruitful and become many, and increase abundantly on the earth and multiply. The story of Noah remains a powerful reminder of resilience, of starting over after a storm, and of holding faith even when hope seems lost. It is a tale that speaks to justice, mercy, and humanity's unique bond with the world around us, reminding us that we are all stewards of this earth, tasked with protecting and cherishing it for generations to come.